How avoidants react when they lose the right person. It's easy to assume avoidant people move on quickly. When a relationship ends, they seem calm, even cold. No desperate texts, no big emotional breakdowns, just silence. And that silence can convince you they never really cared. But here's the truth. Avoidants often react the strongest when they lose the right person. They just react quietly, slowly, and sometimes too late to fix what's broken. At first, denial. When an avoidant loses the right person, their first instinct is to deny that anything's wrong. They convince themselves it's for the best. They tell themselves, I needed space anyway. I wasn't happy. I dodged a bullet. This denial isn't just pride, it's survival. Avoidants have learned to numb their feelings, to push emotions so far down they barely notice them at first. So in those first days or weeks, they seem completely unbothered. They may even act relieved, posting like nothing happened, going out with friends, pretending to thrive. And they lean on distractions. They bury themselves in work, in hobbies, in casual flings or endless scrolling. Anything to fill the silence you left behind. To everyone else, they look fine, maybe even better off. And that can hurt you, seeing them move on so easily. But what you don't see is what's really going on underneath. That denial is fragile. It's just the first layer of their grief. Delayed grief. For avoidants, emotions are like waves that take their time to hit the shore. They don't feel the loss immediately. Instead, the ache creeps in slowly, quietly, often when they least expect it. Weeks or months later, they'll find themselves awake at 1 a.m., scrolling through your old messages. A random song in the radio will trigger a memory they thought they'd buried. They'll see a couple laughing at a cafe and feel a strange heaviness they can't name. Sometimes they even try to replace you, dating someone new, hoping to recreate what they had. But something always feels off. The connection doesn't feel as deep. The bond doesn't feel as safe. And that's when it starts to hit them. What they lost wasn't ordinary. It was rare. They may not show it. They may not tell anyone. But inside, they feel it building. The grief they've been running from all along. Why it hurts so much. For avoidants, losing the right person is more than just losing a partner. It feels like losing home. You see, avoidants don't let many people in. They test you. They push you away to see if you'll come back. They build walls so high, they don't even believe anyone could climb them. But you did. You saw through the armor. You stayed patient when they got distant. You kept loving them even when they gave you reasons not to. And deep down, even if they never admitted it, that made them feel something they didn't even know they craved. Emotional safety. You became the one person who saw their hidden, vulnerable self and chose to stay. That kind of love is rare for anyone, but for an avoidant, it's earth-shattering. So when it's gone, it leaves a hole nothing else seems to fill. On the outside, they'll pretend they're fine. On the inside, they feel unsteady, like the one thing anchoring them has been ripped away. Regret builds slowly. Regret doesn't hit an avoidant all at once. It comes in pieces, quiet moments of realization they can't escape. It starts with memories, the way you laughed at their bad jokes, the way you held them when they couldn't speak, the way you made them feel wanted, even when they tried to push you away. And that's when it starts to sink in. They didn't just lose a partner, they lost someone who loved them in a way they didn't know how to receive, someone who loved them despite their walls, and now that love is gone. The tragedy is, even when regret builds up, it rarely moves them to act, because acting means being vulnerable. It means admitting they were wrong. And for someone who spent their whole life avoiding emotional exposure, that feels impossible. So instead, they suffer quietly. They watch from afar. They rehearse the apology they'll never say. And all the while, the regret grows, a constant reminder of what they let slip away. Why they don't chase. Even when the regret sets in, most avoidants won't chase you. Why? Because reaching out means vulnerability. It means admitting, I was wrong, I miss you, I pushed away something good. For someone who spent their whole life hiding their feelings, that kind of honesty feels terrifying. So instead, they stay silent. They check your profile, ask mutual friends about you, rehearse messages they'll never send. Some eventually reach out, but it's clumsy. A vague, "Hey, just thinking about you," or replying to an old story. If you respond coldly, they retreat back into their shell and tell themselves, "This is why I don't get close." They don't see that they pushed love away. When reality sinks in. For avoidance, the hardest part of losing the right person doesn't come right away. It comes much later, when the distractions stop working, when the nights feel too quiet, when the people they've tried to replace you with just don't measure up. At first, they think the distance is freedom. They tell themselves, "See, I don't need anyone. This is better. I can breathe again." But as time passes, that so-called freedom starts to feel empty. And then one day, it hits them. They're out with friends, and everyone else seems genuinely happy, while they feel a hollow ache inside. They wake up next to someone new, but instead of feeling connection, they feel loneliness, even in someone else's arms. They see you moving on, smiling in pictures, living your life, and they realize they're no longer part of your world. That's when reality sinks in. They didn't just lose a person, they lost you, the one who truly saw them, the one who stayed patient when they tested you, the one who gave them a kind of love they'll struggle to find again. And now, they're just a memory in your story. If you were the right person, if you were the one who walked away, you might still wonder, do they think about me? The truth is, they do, more often than you think. But their silence isn't indifference. It's fear, shame, emotional immaturity. They know they lost something rare, but they're not always equipped to do anything about it. And by the time they are, it's often too late. You were never forgettable. If you loved an avoidant and had to walk away, know this. Your love mattered, even if they couldn't show it. You weren't forgettable. You weren't replaceable. You were the mirror that showed them what love could be. And now, they're left staring into that mirror, haunted by what they let slip away. If this spoke to your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment below if you've experienced this too. Remember, protect your peace and choose yourself first. Until next time.